Welcome to the Men's Veterans Fellowship Home. It's on South Howell Street here in Rocky Mount, and you may have joined us, we hope you did, during the annual telethon for Christian Fellowship Home for Men, and Kurt Scott, who's the director of the Christian Fellowship Home for Men, and Brett Hill, who is the president of our wonderful JC local chapter. But when we were launching it last January, and now it's up and running. We've got many residents here, and you're going to hear from a number of them of how much this home really means to them. But Kurt, I'm impressed. This is a really lovely home.
Well, it really is. We were very fortunate to have it donated to us from Church on the Rise, who for many years had their women's ex-offender program here. And because of the revenue that we got during the telethon and some other funding that we managed to find, we were able to come in and do some painting and fix up. And I think it's become a really, really nice facility for the homeless and veterans in need in our area.
Well, and I don't think you'd find many communities who care more about veterans and are more appreciative of people who've served our country than the Rocky Mount area. So I bet it filled up pretty quickly, didn't it?
Well, I believe we'll be talking to our house manager a little later on in this show, but I believe we are at capacity or very near it, and have been ever since March the 1st when it first opened its doors.
Wonderful.
But we're also really proud that this is one of the few on-site residential programs for veterans in the eastern part of North Carolina, and a lot of cities our size in the state just don't have a facility like this. So one of the things that we're proudest of at Christian Fellowship Home is that we were able to put this resource into place for the Nash and Edgecombe County community.
And Brett, when the Jaycees decided to have a fundraiser, how did you select this to be the recipient of the profit?
Well, when we heard about what they were accomplishing here in the area, we wanted to be a part of it. We had heard about the Christian Fellowship Home and knew that this was going to be a great opportunity for Eastern North Carolina and our community as a whole to really do some good for those who have done so much for our country. So as Jaycees, our organization is always looking to be a solution to problems in our area. And so this would be a great place for us to partner with them to help them as they're beginning their new journey together.
And you're having casino night on September 10th, right?
Absolutely, at Bienvenue Country Club. It's going to be a great evening. It's going to be a night to remember for sure. Lovely dinner is going to be prepared for our guests, as well as chips and games and prizes. It's going to be something very memorable for our area, and we're very excited about it.
Tell us a little bit about the Jaycees. You've been up and running, what, several years now?
Absolutely, about 18 months now. Jaycees, like I said, is a solution-minded organization. We look for community opportunities to do good. And we're specifically a young professionals network. So 21 to 40 is our group, and our focus really is on helping young professionals serve in their community, to prepare themselves and to network together and just make a positive change in our society. And we do that with programs like the Casino Night that our organization is chairing.
And there are other fundraisers. I mean, y'all, if people look around, I think we are really fortunate in Rocky Mount and to have the Jaycees here, and it's growing quite a bit too, isn't it?
It is. You know, historically, the Jaycees have done some great programs in Rocky Mount. If you look back over the years, they were instrumental in the train at Sunset Park, the Children's Museum in the past. The Christmas Parade even has a connection to the Jaycees. And for a while there really wasn't a Jaycees organization represented in Rocky Mount. And 2 years ago, that changed as a group of young professionals came together and said, you know what, this is important to us. We want to bring this back to Rocky Mount, and knew that it was a great opportunity for us to network and do some change again.
And it's ladies and gentlemen both.
Absolutely, it is. Ladies and gentlemen, 21 to 40 years old are participating. We have a really strong core right now. And in fact, on Thursday nights, the second Thursday of every month, we meet at Bienvenue Country Club. And anyone is welcome to come and join us. We begin at 6:30. And you can have dinner with us, or you can just show up at 7 for the actual meeting. But it's open to anyone to come and check us out. And maybe you know someone in your organization that might benefit from it. So we invite everybody to come and participate.
Well, and I think networking alone is such a benefit, and to be able to come and meet other young professionals who are like-minded is a great opportunity, Brett.
Gene, we agree. And the Jaycees has been such a positive impact already on so many young professionals that are moving here from outside of our area, but as well as those that are already from the area. Many of their fathers and grandfathers participated in Jaycees, and now they have an opportunity to do so as well.
We're going to take a break. Well, we're going to move right now into having you speak with one of the veterans who's living here.
Let's do.
And then we're going to come back again and talk some more. But we just really want to know specifically what this is doing already in our community. Okay?
Well, we have had tremendous support, not just from the Jaycees, but from many individuals. We were fortunate in that we had 4 individuals pledge $5,000 a year to give us an initial budget to start with here.
Right.
And the support for this, I think, is a real indication to me of how necessary and needed a facility like this will be. So the support's been great, really has.
And you said Nash and Edgecombe County.
Exactly.
What if someone were outside the area? I mean, you're strictly sticking, you've got plenty here, so you don't really need to go outside.
Right,
the
and I
Edgecombe
think
County
we'd
area.
have to give preference to Nash and County
Sure.
and Edgecombe County residents, but if we have the space available, of course, we'd be willing to work with any veteran in need.
And even though you've had those pledges, there are ongoing operational costs. So I think what's happening with the Jaycees and a chance for people in the community to jump in and come to casino night and help them make money. And how will those dollars be used?
Well, more than likely, there's still some infrastructure needs we have here that we'll probably have to address. We need carpet. We need to update the fire suppression system. These are all pretty costly things. We'll probably use some of it for that. A lot of it will be used to just put together resources for the men who stay here. One of the primary things that we're trying to do is to hook them up with VA services immediately when they're admitted. So getting them back and forth to the VA to do that is sometimes quite a challenge for dollars, and I hope we can use some of that money for that.
Oh, absolutely. And also help them with stability and with needs when they move out.
Exactly. We're here with Clint, who is one of our residents at our Veterans Home. How are you, Clint?
I'm just fine, thank you.
Thanks for coming and sharing your experience with us today.
Yes, sir.
Which branch of the service were you in?
The U.S. Army.
In the Army. And what kind of work did you do while you were there? What was your MO, I think they call it?
MOS.
MOS.
Yes, 94B, which is actually a cook.
You were a cook?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. And you were telling me that you were stationed in Kentucky and had some medical issues, and in fact you left the service because of your medical issues.
Yes, sir. I enlisted for 6 years in 1977, and I was honorably discharged in 78. I was frostbitten while training, which messed my feet up. I couldn't walk.
And you still have a little trouble with that today, don't you?
Yes, it's a progression factor in my life.
Right. So after you left the service, I believe you had a little bit of difficulty establishing your benefits from that point. It took you a while, several years, as you told me, to get those benefits in place.
Yes, sir. In 78, as I said, I was honorably discharged with my medical condition, and it was 2011 before I was actually recognized for that.
So that was a long time. And you told me that you had issues with PTSD
Yes,
and depression.
very much.
And this is very common, you know, among people who have served our country in the services.
Several vets that I've come across has this problem.
So the last time you were in the hospital for some of these conditions, you decided to give the Veterans Home a try.
Yes, sir, and I'm very grateful that I did. The Veterans Home, they have assisted me so much. They give me transportation back and forth to the VA hospital. I'm presently enrolled in Edgecombe Community College.
Are you going back to school full-time?
Full-time, sir.
Well, that's great. That's a great goals to have. I'm assuming that you will agree that your life as a veteran has been impacted in a good way from being at the Veterans Home.
Oh, very much so.
And if the Veterans Home had not been there to give you the support services that it's currently giving you, how do you think things would have turned out for you?
I would have actually been homeless. I currently get $836 income due to my illness, and the military is working on getting me more money, but as of yet, I would have been homeless.
It would have been hard to get your own place and live on $836 a month for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, thank you, Silk. I'm really happy that you shared your experience with us, and I'm glad you're finding some benefit there at the Veterans Home.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Kirk, I really enjoyed hearing you speak with the young man about what the house means to him.
It was nice, wasn't it?
It was, and I think it's so important as the Jaycees try and sell tickets and say, you know, they have taken on this project. They could have supported a lot of nonprofits
That's
in town.
right.
But they thought that this is new, this is something that needs a lot of good seed money to get it up and rolling. And to hear how much it's starting to mean to people already is important, isn't it?
It is, and just let me share with you and everybody who's looking at this today, Gene, let me just share with you why I think it's important to support this fundraiser for the Veterans Home. Mm-hmm. First of all, my dad was a World War II veteran, mm-hmm. and after he got out of the service, he worked in the reserves in North Carolina until the day he died. Mm-hmm. So I've seen firsthand in my own life what sacrifices people who are in the armed services make. Mm-hmm. And I think that all of us have a sense that our veterans deserve the very best that they can get mm-hmm. in terms of supports. Now, you know, there are a lot of veterans who leave the service and they do well. Mm-hmm. There's some members of the Jaycees who I'm thinking of who are ex-Marine Corps veterans who've done extremely well. Mm-hmm. But there are those other veterans who fall through the cracks on occasion, and they need as much support as we can give them. The second point I want to make is that this is something that we can all agree on here in the Twin Counties. I have not yet come across a single individual who didn't think that supporting our veterans was a noble cause and something worthwhile and investing in. And also, by supporting this facility, we make it possible for our two counties to have one of the few residential programs for veterans in this end of the state. So for all those reasons, I'm going to support this fundraiser, mm-hmm. and I encourage all our viewers to do it as well.
Well, and a number of years ago, we had a telethon and really helped the community know more about the Christian Fellowship Home for Men and how important that is. And it's just this year, I believe, in March, the Veterans Home has opened. Why is that a necessary and really important companion piece to the Christian Fellowship Home for Men?
Well, the focus is slightly different, but it actually just presents another piece of the puzzle mm-hmm. of the complex series of supports that we need in our counties to make sure that our residents, no matter what their situation, have the best opportunity for advancement they can give. Mm-hmm. It's a piece of support for homeless veterans that really wasn't present in this way before. Mm-hmm. So I think it fits into the larger picture of what our community tries to do mm-hmm. for its citizens in need.
And what are the requirements for somebody to be given admission to live there?
Well, you do have to be a honorably discharged veteran. Mm-hmm. There's a certain document you need called a DD-214, and that establishes the fact that you have a service history and that you were discharged honorably. Mm-hmm. Then at that point, you just have a screening interview with the treatment team, the four veterans who are supervising the program. Mm-hmm. They will take your application, they will assess the situation, figure out if what we can do will help you, and at that point you're admitted. So that's basically a two-step process: the discharge proof and an interview.
And if anybody watching, of course, we want everybody to go to Casino Night on September 10th.
September 10th at Bimbenoo.
Club, and you can get tickets from the Jaycees. You can go to their Facebook page. You can get in touch with any Jaycees that you see on there. Besides that, are there other needs that you can think of quickly before we take a break that the community can provide? Well,
like any other group home, they need volunteers to help. They need basic supplies, like any other operation like that. Mm-hmm. Whatever people find in their heart that they want to contribute, I'm sure we can find a place and a use for.
Absolutely. And it's beautifully repainted, but there are always supplies and all kinds of things. So if you have an organization and you're looking for something to do, I think give Kirk a call. He's at Christian Fellowship Home for Men. We're going to take a break, and we come back. Phil is going to be your guest.
Phil, our house manager. He's a very interesting guy and has done a great job of managing over there.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Richard Koss, Pharmacy Manager at Allman's Drug Store at the Westridge Shopping Center. Here with my wife, daughters, and my business partner, Brad Hilton, and his wife, Katie. We are delighted to be new business owners living in Rocky Mount and are excited about the new services and products we are adding at Almonds Drug Store's 2 locations. With a full-service pharmacy, a large supply of over-the-counter supplements, and a comprehensive line of diabetic supplies, Almonds has you covered. Our pharmacists also specialize in consultations. We want you to pay the lowest prices and get the best service in town, and our staff works hard to help you save money, but we are also big on friendliness and customer care. We will deliver your prescriptions free, have drive-through windows, and guarantee short wait times. And we come out to greet you personally and see how we can answer all of your questions. Because as local business owners, we care about you. As a loyal member of your community for over 70 years, you can count on Almonds Drugs to make the health of you and your family our top priority.
Please call Almonds Drugs today.
443-3138.
Every facility like this needs a good manager, and so we're talking now to Phil, our house manager. He's got a huge set of responsibilities, most of the day-to-day operations, the greasing of the wheels to make sure things go smoothly, falls on Phil's shoulders. So how do you feel about that, Phil? What are some of the challenges you face daily here as you try to manage this veterans home?
Well, I look at it this way. The term manager comes with a lot of responsibilities, but there's a great bunch of guys here, and I just sit back and let them run things. And if I need to intervene based on certain situations, that's what we do, because we're all vets. These guys are very knowledgeable. They know how to take care of the day-to-day business as far as making appointments. And of course, if the unique thing about it, Kurt, is that we all come with a great amount of experience as far as contacts. One individual might know this thing about what needs to be done, and it's a collaboration between the group, so we're able to get things done. So it's a challenge, but as a group, we make it very, very easy.
Well, that's good to hear, because it sounds like what you're saying as a community, you're confident you can overcome a lot of the daily challenges that men in this situation would be facing.
That's correct, and we have tremendous support from our board members, Ray Thomason, Sergeant Major Evans. These guys also come with a vast amount of experience to share with us, and they have gone out of their way to get me anything that I need that these gentlemen call upon me as far as trying to get them and steer them in the right direction.
I'm glad you mentioned those guys. That he's referring to our management team, our treatment team, as we call it here, and most of them are veterans, are they not?
Oh, that's correct. Rick and Sergeant Major Evans, they're Marine Corps vet.
And I believe John Barunda, the clinical supervisor, is also an ex-Marine.
Absolutely. Sergeant Major Barunda, he is an ex-Marine also.
Right. So it's really great to me that we not only have veterans in the home, but we have veterans in the administration of the home who are actually mentoring these guys back to where they need to be. What would you say is the most critical need that you and the other veterans have as you do your daily living here? What is the one thing that you need the most?
I would tend to think that to get ourselves completely stabilized as far as getting back to be productive members of our society, first and most importantly is for us to take care of our medical needs at this time.
Right.
And two, also, there's a lack of knowledge with everybody as far as learning what's available for the vets, because being a former state employee, I've never had to use mine, but I'm going to tell you something. The collaboration we have here, as far as sharing the knowledge, you learn a lot.
Do you find that most of the veterans who come into the program don't have good medical resources linked up? Is that one of the first things y'all try to do when they come in, is to hook them up with those resources?
Kurt, that's correct. Some of them that comes in, they're not even aware that we have a van right here in Rocky Mount that will take you to Durham, also to take you to the Greenville facilities. So whatever their needs are, we try, if I don't, or we as a collaborative group doesn't know how to help each other, we reach out to our contacts, Mr. Thomason, Sergeant Major Evans, and other veterans that I have in contact with in the community.
I do want to mention to all of you and to you, Phil, that there's a lot of veterans in the Jaycees as well, the ones who are doing the fundraiser to benefit the home. So it really to me is a great expression of what the veteran community can do and get involved with here in Rocky Mountain, Nash, and Edgecombe County. Well, I appreciate you for taking on the responsibility of manager. Having been a halfway house manager myself, I know it's not the easiest job in the world. And if I haven't made it clear to all the rest of the men here, I want to make clear to you that we are honored that you're here, and we all thank you for your service. No matter what branch you were in, we appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kurt.
We're glad to be joined again by 3 Jaycees here in our area. We've got the president, whom you met earlier, Brett Hill with Moorfield Real Estate, Brad Hilton with Almonds Drugstore, and of course John Van with Haney Van Bruten.
Haney Van Bruten and Crawford.
Okay, and you're a CPA.
Yes, ma'am.
How many generations are you? And
Second generation in there is my father, my brother, and I, all 3 in there together.
How's that going?
It's pretty good. We get along pretty good. CPAs are pretty even-tempered, pretty dry, so we all get along just fine.
Wonderful. Well, folks, this is just an example of the young talent in our area who really is working to give back through the JC program. John, I understand that you're heading up the casino fundraiser. Tell us the nuts and bolts and where people can get tickets and convince them that everybody wants to come.
Sure, absolutely. You guys all want to come, but it's at Bienvenue Country Club on September 10th from 6 to 9 p.m. You can go online on Facebook, just find the event there, just Google, or not Google, Facebook, Jaycees Casino Night, and you'll find it. It's like the only one you'll find up there. But you can go online from there and buy your tickets to the event. The tickets are $50, but it does include your dinner at the event as well at Bienvenue Country Club, and you also get $20 in casino chips to play and have fun with. It's a great event. We're going to have professional dealers out there, professional tables. It's not us dealing. It's people that actually know what they're doing. So it'll be a fun. Well,
no offense.
Yeah, no offense. I don't know what I'm doing with it either, but yeah, it'll be a good time. It's something that we don't really have in the community. We don't have any kind of thing like this. So when we were looking at something to do, we wanted something that was kind of original, something new for people to come out and have fun with. And that's why we decided to do it as a casino night, and we just want everybody to come out and enjoy it.
And a portion of the $50 will be tax deductible, right, as an accountant?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You can keep your ticket stub and remember to deduct that on your tax return when you do that in the year.
Well, and it's going to be all ages. Have you thought about what the attire should be for the evening?
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a dressy type of event. Like my man Brett over here is wearing. You could dress like that, or Brad, with a tie. I'm probably a little underdressed for it, but just dress up for it. Be a nice swanky type of event.
And I think we need more events like this in our community. I mean, this has been one of the first things sponsored all by a younger crowd in town too. So I think you'll let some of us older ones come too, won't you?
Older? What are you talking about? I don't see any of those.
Thank you. But it's so important as a community for us to support the Jaycees, because they're folks. They're the young leaders. They're the future of Rocky Mountain. And they are committing to our community to try and find a great way to give back. Brad, you are a member of the Jaycees. Why did you join, and what have you enjoyed about it?
For me, it's been a great opportunity to network.
Well, and I mean, to meet Brett and John, you might not have met them otherwise, and probably a whole lot of other people. What do y'all do do you have programs each time?
Right. Now, every meeting we typically have a speaker. For example, a few months ago, we actually had the mayor. It was a very neat experience. He talked about when he was younger, when he was in the Jaycees, and how that helped him develop and evolve into his career now.
Plus being a leader, I mean, political leader, a community servant and whatnot. So, I mean, you probably hadn't met the mayor except, bumping into him around town, but to be actually there. And Brett, do people have opportunities before and after the meetings to go up and really get to know the speakers and meet people whom they might not have met otherwise?
Absolutely. We like to give opportunity for everyone to network, whether that is before the meeting with our social times or during the presentation of our speaker. We also open it up for questions and response. And that's always interesting to hear the questions that other young young professionals in our area have for whoever our guests may be. And then, of course, afterwards, our speakers are always gracious to be there to connect with us, and also other young professionals get to network together too.
Oh yeah. Well, and it's really important to us as a community to encourage young talent in leadership, because as people phase out of being leaders, then that's what we're counting on y'all to step into that void. And you meet what nights, and people are free to come?
We meet the second Thursday of every month at Benvenue Country Club. At 6:30 is actually when dinner is served. So anyone is welcome to come and participate in the dinner. For $20, you get a wonderful meal, and you get an opportunity to sit down and eat with some of the young professionals. Our meeting actually starts at 7, though, so some people with their work schedules, they don't make it there until 7, and that's fine. If you can't make it until 7, that's great. We just want the opportunity to network with young professionals and others in our community, so it's open to anyone to come and participate at those times. So second Thursday at Benvenue at 6:30.
Super.
And that actually is this Thursday, too, if you wanted to come on out this week.
Tomorrow night.
Okay, one final pitch for casino night, John.
Sure, yeah. Come on out, casino night. Support your community's veterans. Benvenue Country Club, September 10th, 6 to 9 p.m. Go on Facebook, find the event, and buy your tickets. Come on out and support us, folks.
Great. Thank you, guys. And thank you.